Welcome to Variant One Shot. I'm your host, Arris. I was lucky enough to see the pilot episode of CW's new Flash TV series before its actual release date in October, so I figured I'd give you guys my thoughts on it. Obviously, spoiler-free since it hasn't officially aired yet, but my thoughts nonetheless. I thought the pilot was really fun and captured Flash's origin really well. Speaking of his origin, and this is not a spoiler because it was in the 5-minute extended trailer they showed briefly during his origin a blur of Professor Zoom and/or Reverse Flash, who was responsible for killing Barry Allen's mother, which I thought was really cool and confirms it's just a matter of time before Reverse Flash is fully introduced into the series, and it means they're most likely going to be sticking pretty darn close to Flash's source material, which is always a good sign. There's also a crap ton of Easter eggs and a cameo in the first episode. But I'm not going to say what they are and ruin it for you. I'll just say if you know about the Flash and the characters in his universe, just keep your eyes and ears on high alert, as there may or may not be names or characters mentioned that become heroes or villains later on. And there also may be signs in the background that if you read them, they will allude to certain villains, so just keep an eye out when you watch it. The visual effects are also pretty good for a TV show, and I'm actually liking how they're handling Flash's speed, which I was really worried about when I heard they were giving him his own series again, because super speed, if handled wrong, could be super cheesy, and that would not be good since the show is centered around a guy who runs fast. With that said, the first episode is not without its cheesy moments, but it's not unbearable, at least in my opinion. What's really cool too is they have John Wesley Shipp, who played Flash in the original early 90s TV series, play Henry Allen, who's Barry Allen's dad, which is a nice little nod to fans of the original Flash series. As for Grant Gustin as Barry Allen / the Flash, I think he's doing a good job. He's really likable. I just wish they would have made him bulk up a little more. I just think he's a little too skinny. Obviously, the Flash is supposed to have a slender body having a runner's body since, well, he's a super fast runner. But at the same time, in the comics, they give him a good amount of muscle while still keeping him slender. Given this may just be a personal complaint, but it's a complaint nonetheless, so I figured I'd mention it. I'm also still a little on his costume. I think it could have definitely been cooler than it is just by making the costume a brighter red and some tweaking here and there, but whatever, it works. With all that said, and purely basing my opinion on the first episode, I think the series is gonna be really fun and a must-watch for any fan of The Flash. Anyone who likes Arrow is most likely gonna like this show as well. And can you imagine if / when they do crossover storylines like they do in the comics, where you have to read multiple comics to get the whole story, but in this case you have to watch Arrow in The Flash to get the whole story? That would be amazing. But yes, I am digging the show thus far, and I'm really excited to see where they go from here. But judging by all the Easter eggs they had in the pilot episode, I think they have some pretty big plans for the future, so I'm really excited to watch more.